Dorset, and then obviously we just got the location on the market on the whole 2 cars straight post on the harbour. So I had to sort of temporarily move the swirl. We basically build it in the workshop to build a handrail. Because that's only half a section, which is like that line, that's just from there to there, that's half a step, and you've got another half, that just goes up to the top platform. So doing that.
Sweet room. And there's the quay, the Wetherspoons, where we just had brunch. We've just had a couple of days of very wet and extremely windy weather. It's still windy today, but as you can see, not too bad. And that's Brunch Island over there in the distance, the place where the first Boy Scouts Jamboree major camp took place, as it were. Well, we're now on board ship, or boat, or whatever you like to call it. It's probably too small to be a ship. And we're about to depart for our afternoon cruise up to the far reaches of Poole Harbour, and then up the tidal section of the River Frome to Wareham. There's the other one coming back.
Well, no, I won't. Here's the Brunch Island ferry, just coming back.
service as requested by the Department of Transport. Situated at Brent's boat, we have life-saving equipment. Top deck of the boat, buoyancy aids, so the life jacket lockers. Also up on the top deck, so the hand rubs, two self-inflating life rafts, and lower decks, additional buoyancy aids, so the life jackets and lockers as well. And today, or this afternoon, we'll be taking the channel up the western reaches of Poole Harbour, upon entering the river front, arriving in Wareham, perhaps about an hour from now. And as we make our way up the western reaches, pointing out a few places of interest as we go along. And very, very shortly, should anybody like any refreshments now, we do have a coffee bar on the lower deck, serving a selection of hot drinks, not just cold drinks, bottled beers, wine, soft drinks, and a small selection of snacks. Now, just one or two other notes or reminders now that we're underway. No smoking policy around the boat. That includes the top deck and the lower deck down the side. A small single toilet adjacent to the bar. And if anybody has any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to come up and speak. My name's Matt, and the crew on board today is Steve. And just one other note before we get around the corner, we've got a very fresh westerly wind in the harbour here today. Once we go around the corner, it's pretty blowy. Is there anybody with any hats or loose clothing on the top deck? Just hold on to them.
As you can see, it's rather choppy out there, so there are times when the camera goes a bit loopy. Sorry about that, but very difficult to hold the camera steady when you're going up and down with the boat. That's looking down towards all them posh houses in sandbanks. Need a lot of money to live down there.
Further along from Wareham-Part, you'll see the start of some properties. Well, this road is called Brunch Avenue, now becoming a sought-after area to live in. And actually, house prices here on the shores of Hammerley are slowly catching up in value to the houses down at Sandbank. Now, Sandbank is at the other end of Poole Harbour, also known as the Golden Mile, Millionaire's Row. But coming back to these particular properties here on the shores of Hammerley, it's quite common these days that you actually come up for sale, change hands, the new owners have a demolished, perfectly fine house, and then have purpose-built ones to the right design. And as you'll see here, this afternoon, several modern style properties popping up on the shores of Hammerley, and to give you a rough idea, average house prices, as for these new modern ones, anything starting from around about £3 million upwards. So, Hammerley Park, pulling behind us. These are the properties along Brunch Avenue, and looking ahead on the right, you can see there what looks like Mediterranean-style properties. Well, that's called Wareham-Part. Wareham-Part was built on the former site of Dorset Lake Shipyard. Going back to the period of the Second World War, they were building motor torpedo boats, landing craft, and minesweepers at Dorset Lake. Obviously, still active action during the war. but in later years, a good part of Dorset Lake shipyard was made redundant, and in turn was snapped up by developers. And they built that complex on the shores of Hammerley, renaming the area Wareham-Part. Well, the properties at Wareham have access to their own private marina, and you'll see once we get a little closer, they literally have their own yachts and boats moored just outside their front doors. So this is Wareham Quay coming up close to us on the right now. The very first entrance leads into the very private marina, and as you can see here today, they literally have their own yachts and boats moored just outside their front door. And all that remains of Dorset Lake shipyard today is behind the wooden breakwater coming up on the right, which is now solely used as a small yacht haven come over. And next door, to Dorset Lake, we have the Royal Marine Base, where the Royal Marines do their training in Poole Harbour. We've got a lot of fast assault boats based here, but their main training camp is about a half a mile further inshore. This is their amphibious training centre on the shores of Hammerley, and this was fully named HMS Piddle during the Second World War. And once again, still the shores of Hammerley, ahead on the right. As you see there, a wooden jetty or a wooden pier coming out from the channel. Well, this is called Lakeside or Lake Pier. Once again, a very popular area for the locals during the summer months, and as you'll see this morning, quite a few caravans and campervans parked in from the pier on the shoreline, which I believe up until about 5 years ago was possibly the last remaining place in Poole where you can actually park free charge. We've got 3 or 4 more properties coming up on the right. There's a white one in amongst the fir trees with a blue tiled roof. It's called the Boat House. A little bit of history. Inside the boat house, some of the rooms are fitted out as cabins that came out of the Mauritania. Now the Mauritania was a cruise ship built for the White Star Line around about 1906. She held the Blue Ribbon Awards between Southampton and Wareham-Part. It was commandeered during the First World War used as a hospital venture carrier. But around about 1935, the Mauritania, till the end of her life, went to the scrapyard, and a lot of the furnishings and fixtures went to auction. And as I was saying, some of the rooms in that house are fitted out as cabins in case of that ship. And actually, the old boat house is open to the public. Now, it's literally just 1-2 days every year, and I believe it's Dorset Heritage Week. And still the shores of Hammerley, over on the right. As you can see, we've got some clay cliffs coming up. Just the other side of the hill, and we'll just use quarry and literally filter rainwater for deep fresh water rain. Well, that's known as called Blue Pool by the locals, but actually mixed up with Blue Pool is just outside of Wareham. And further along from the clay cliffs, I think there's possibly 1 or 2 cars there, parked up on top of the hillside. Well, that area is called Ham Common. That is a fantastic viewpoint from that location, looking over this park for hours. And further along from Ham Common, you'll see the start of some holiday homes close to those fir trees. Well, that's called Rockley Sands, or Rockley Holiday Park. Now, that's a huge holiday complex just outside of Poole, and I believe there's over 1,000 homes on that side. And of course, just in front of the holiday homes, we have Rockley Point. They have their own sailing school there, and they actually teach a lot of youngsters to sail up this park. To act as a decoy. And this plan would actually work. They did the old cordine factory that was key. But as you can imagine, Brunch Island, all it is, as far as the south side. So just to recap once again, we have Rockley Holiday Park, Rockley Railway Bridge, Holton Heath over on the right side of the boats. But the the mainland is much closer to us here on the left. This is called Pounf, which is an RSPB nature reserve. Now once again, Pounf is sort of halfway between Wareham and Cork Castle. You can actually drive down to the small village, the Pounf, which is just a few miles in shore of that. You can actually park your car there, walk across the heathland, and it would bring you out onto the shoreline on the left. And this area is called Poole Quay. We only have 4 small rivers close to the harbour itself. Now earlier, trying to point out Poole Quay, I said there was a railway embankment and a railway bridge with a large expanse of water just the other side on the Litchfield Bay. Or we have the Sherford River, goes into Litchfield Bay and down into the harbour. Also, at an area by Round Island, that's on the south side of the harbour, we have the River Cork. Now we'll be entering the River Frome, which is around the next bend away to the left. Coming up on the right, well this is the entrance to the River Piddle, and that goes to the north.
All over the place.
We left Poole Quay earlier today and been coming up the harbour. We've been under 4 Harbour Commissioners' bylaws. Now they impose a 10-knot speed limit in the harbour during the summer season. Well, we've just entered the River Frome now, come under the jurisdiction of what was the National Rivers Authority, which is now called the Environmental Agency. Well, they impose a 4-knot speed limit on the river here today. Actually, several good reasons for this. They're looking on either side of the boat. You can see the huge expanse of reef beds. Well, this is a valuable habitat to the wildlife and nesting birds in the area. And by boats going too fast, they cause a lot of wash, a lot of waves behind the boat, and in turn this will damage this very valuable habitat. And also, by causing a lot of wash over a period of time, could cause erosion to the riverbanks and slowly sort up the river front. Now another valid reason for the low speed limit on the river here today, as you'll see as we slowly make our way up to Wareham, we have to navigate several blind corners, and you can imagine during the height of the summer months, especially weekends, there are quite a lot of boat users going up and down the river. And for those of you on the top deck of the boat today, by looking across the reef beds, just on our left, above the tree line there, you can now see the parish church of Lady St Mary. Well, that's on the quayside of Wareham. That's our final destination today. As a crow flies, probably about 1.5 miles away, but by boat, close to 2.5 to 3 miles. Well, every now and again, just have a look to see where the church appears. Sometimes it'll be on the left, sometimes on the right, ahead of the boat, and even at one stage it will be on the you will see the parish church of Lady St Mary again. It appears that it hasn't got any closer, even though we saw it over 10 minutes ago when we entered the river. And this time, looking on either side of the boat, see the huge expanse of fields, also known as the floodplains of the River Brown. During the summer months, you used to be able to use it for animal grazing, but quite often in the winter, we're about to be flooded. The water level on the river here today comes to be controlled by several large tidal sluice gates dotted along the riverbanks, and this helps prevent the smaller villages upstream in the Frome Valley from flooding, especially during the winter months when we have a combination of high tides and heavy rainfall. This is their clubhouse, the wooden building coming up around the next corner. And as I was saying earlier, the line of hills away to the left of the Purbeck Hills, they stretch some 25 to 30 miles inland and along the coast, and one of their most southerly points is Old Harry Rocks, that's just outside of Wareham-Part. And from that point of Old Harry, they also say that's the start, or possibly the finish, of the southwest coastal path, stretches down to the West Country, finishes at Minehead, a distance of around about 630 miles. And that's the Frome Valley, stretching miles in the distance away to the left. The road nearest to us, going across the floodplains there, was also known as the gateway to the Purbeck. Many, many years ago, was the only way in and out, as it links up with the village of Stokeborough. And it goes on to Croft Castle and Sandwich. Now, as probably most of you gather, you can only come up to Wareham-Part tide. It's coming up on a reasonable tide today. Although saying that, we are approaching probably the shallowest point in the river. There's a reed bed on the corner, just ahead of the boat. That's the shallow spot for us. To give you a rough idea of the depth of the water there at present time, at this stage of the tide, faces probably around about 6 to 7 feet deep. And we draw around is 4 feet, giving us 2 to 3 feet clearance of water beneath the key of the boat. Now the river is tidal. If you were to come to Wareham on the low tide, when it's night, actually wade or paddle from Wareham Bridge, which is now ahead of us, roughly next to where we are. And the Priory is an early 16th century building which was formerly the home of a monastery. They called the Priory Hotel, which is probably the most exclusive hotel and restaurant in Wareham today. And as you go past the hedgerow coming up on the right, you'll see the well-kept manicured lawns stretching down from the hotel. As I was saying, that's Wareham Bridge, ahead of the boat now, stopping on the quayside very, very shortly. Just to give you a time check before we get alongside, it's now 1:10 past 1. It's now 1:10 past 1. If we can have you back on the boat, or the boat will be leaving at 20 past 2, and that will get us back to Poole Quay for 3:30. And once we get alongside the quay at Wareham, we will be offloading from the lower deck of the boat, back aft. And for the people on the top deck, there are a set of steps leading back aft behind you all. But for the time being, if you could just stay seated or where you are, we have the boat securely moored, the gangway safely located in position, and we'll let you know when it's safe and ready to disappear. So 10 past 1 now, boat leaves at 20 past 2, and we'll start reloading the boat 5 minutes prior to departure.
And here we are in Wareham Quay. The boat's safely moored up, and we've got a little while to explore. Not much time to do so, but we want to take a closer look at the church, so we're going to head that way now. And Jackie and I will see you in part 2.
It's an hour.